Hey, we're back. um, yeah, thanks for joining me. We got a new set of books here. I'm going to go over what we're going to do. First off, we're gonna grade this book. Okay. Um, and we're gonna kind of look through it. Try to, this book is in rough shape. Um, it's one of those square bound books, no staples. At least it's a square bound book, no staples. It's a thicker book, so there's a lot of pages to count, 80 pages in all. So I think there's got to be like 40 pages, I'm assuming. We'll get to see some great artwork, hopefully. And then we'll do these other books. Going to do more Amy adventure comics. Because what we're really wanting to do on these older books is just give them a good clean, which I didn't really have that opportunity to do when I brought these into my collection. So, and again, we're going to count the pages. What concerns me is we had an adventure book where something was cut out. I don't know what was cut out. Might have been like a ad or mail-in kind of thing, but they cut it out. So I just don't want to. I want to make sure Amy wasn't, using books to create collages or anything out of. And then we're gonna grade this book. This is a low grade, and mid to low grade book. So we'll get to the bottom of this. This is a book. I think there's an opportunity to do some eraser. Get some eraser benefits here. But definitely want to grade this one as well. All right, so let's get to it. We'll start with the modern book. I feel like this is a book that's just looking very dingy at the moment. You can probably see. I'm going to turn it around so you can see that. You can see that. There we go. You can see there's, especially here, like in this area here, there's just dirt. You can see it right there. Very noticeable, especially along the spine there. Now I got this, I think I paid $3 for this, $2 or $3, and I regret it. Because it was in a lot worse shape than I thought. Kind of looked at it and thought, oh, this looks like it's a high grade copy. But then, upon closer examination, I realized, no, this is actually low grade. So oftentimes, if you're thinking it's mid to high grade, I mean, it still could be mid grade book. It's not terrible looking, but the spine is really just not in good shape. And I'm hoping that, the cover appears to be attached, but until I open this baby up and look, I think I did open it up and I saw that the staples were on the verge of like detaching. So either way, this is a book I love. I love The Brood. This is just a very nostalgic cover for me, so the nostalgic book as well. So I'm just gonna take it out and we're gonna try to make it look cleaner, and we're gonna grade it at the same time. So Thanks for joining me, Agu, man. What's been going on, dude? You have a good weekend? I saw you out with your dog. Saw your posts doing shopping with the dog. That dog is so freaking beautiful. You really got like a beautiful looking dog. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Agu's dog is it's like he's like red. He's like a red husky, which is like or brown husky, but I mean it's like a reddish brown husky. It's just beautiful dog. All right, so what we're doing is we're cleaning. Just gonna get some cleaning solution here. I mean, I've really worn out this pad, but we're gonna continue to use the pad until it fails us. Because I don't like wasting pads on stuff like this. We're gonna do a lot of books eventually, so I want to get the maximum use out of every pad. Now this is another book where like the paper quality is really good. So I mean, it's like, again, this is a book that's just been read and enjoyed. The staples aren't rusty yet, but they're kind of leaning toward that. So we just get it cleaner. It's gonna look so much better. Just gonna go across here. This is really the problem area of the book. And let's just see how much dirt comes off here. Not a lot of dirt coming off, surprisingly. Decent amount. I'm gonna just go over with this dried part here. Not so bad. Oops. Don't want to do that. Don't want to press up against the book there. Watch me just destroy all the books in these like grading sessions. That would be a good sign to just not do this, but I'm enjoying it, so I'm going to continue to do it as long as I don't damage the books. All right, so there's a little bit of dinge on this edge here. Weather been nice. Yeah, it was nice today for once. It hit 50. Yeah, we took Leo to the Mopop Museum in downtown. So there were a lot of people downtown. So that's nice to see, actually. You know, downtown was it was dead at one point. Now it seems like people have forgotten about the pandemic and they're visiting downtown. The homeless problem is still there, but not as apparent. So yeah, overall I had a great time downtown. Got some ramen at Dambo, great spot in Cap Hill. Picked up some, ooh, look at this, Metal Gear. Picked up some cream puffs at this local bakery we go to, and it was all good. Let's see here. So yeah, I mean, this book's in rough shape. And I think it could improve with the press. But where we're really going to improve it is hopefully with some of this eraser action. Although I don't know if you can get... There's just there's so many like minor... These are small creases, actually. These are small creases. Nothing... That breaks color right there. That breaks color right along the edge here. I'm going to flip around so you can see. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but There's this dinge along the edge of the book, first and foremost. There's a crease here. There's color breaking issues there. And there's just sort of there's this sort of roll crease that goes all the way along the top. And there's just a bunch of dirt and grime there too. So again, not a good looking book, which is why I kind of like, in hindsight, I think we paid $3 for this. We paid $2 or $3 for this. And in hindsight, it's like, no, this is not even, shouldn't have even paid $1 for it. But it's kind of like a run filler for me, so not that big of a deal. If we can pick up a better grade copy at some point, probably will, but if we never do, that's fine as well. So again, we're just gonna kind of focus on the areas where the eraser might have a little bit of a benefit or an effect. Took Pup to Edmund's Dog Beach. Oh, that's always fun. To play with other dogs. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so we're going to just do some eraser action here. Be very gentle. And just go along this edge here. So the nice thing about this particular copy is, even though it's roughed up, bent up, and all that, I think some of it could be improved with the press for sure. And nothing is really, there's nothing majorly kind of color breaking on the front of the cover. It's got a lot of spine ticks, and I don't see a lot of color break, so that's a good thing. Part of it's because the spine is, there's like a miswrap there as well, but again, like right here, there's a spine tick here. None of it's really breaking color, so that's a great thing. So yeah, this is a, I'd say out of all these sessions, what we've determined is pretty much my entire collection would benefit from a press. Which doesn't surprise me, right? Like, I think that's why it's important to, if you get a press, it's such a fun, it's like a big project laid out in front of you. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm not trying to rush into it. I'm trying to really kind of get all the information before we invest in a pressing machine and really find out what, it's not just the machine you have to get the backing boards and all the different materials to really do a thorough and fair job on a press, because you don't want to go through the whole process and just get to a point where you're flattening and drying out and exacerbating issues with a press. You want to get the right amount of humidity, pressure, heat, making sure you're really doing a balanced, even press. And that takes just time to, kind of a lot of trial and error to get to. So, all right, so we're going to do this problem area here, and we're just going to try to get that looking as nice and clean as possible. All right. Here we go. Just very, very, very soft. I'm not seeing too much going on there. If you're seeing something that I'm not, let me know. I'm gonna try a different angle here. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have too much success on this. All right, well, I'm gonna try it one more time, just along the edge again, really light. See if we can't. Okay. All right, well, not a big improvement, but it is what it is. I'm just going to try along this back part. There's a little bit of dinge here. Let's see if we can't very lightly. There we go. Doesn't look so bad. Okay, so I think we're not going to have any kind of effect on this. This is just, there's some oil built on that edge there, which is just browned the paper. I think same there. Just along the spine, there's just a lot of probably handling. So the handling there, again, all the issues there along that spine and handling. I'm just going to drop this down to a 5.0. It's a mid-grade book. It's just so many accumulation of small defects, especially here with the wear. You can kind of see the wear there. Not that it's torn or anything, it's just worn. And again, the staple, there's like pull up the staples, just a lot of small defects there along the spine. So that just, I'm just going to drop it to a 5.0. Or I'll say a 6.0. I'm going to just drop it to a 6.0. Then there's the corners. Corners are blunted. And there's just this browning and the paper's quality is not good. There's a little bit of brittle. There's this little chip there at the bottom. There's a lot of issues on this book. Brown pages. I guess I could do eraser time here, but I just don't even want to bother. Yeah, there's again, staples are attached, but there's a little bit of pull there, as you can see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoa. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, I'm going to assume I missed a page there. Get these sticky pages here. I'm assuming that's 16 pages. I think I just didn't count right. Man, does this bring back memories. It's like leading into Inferno. Just beautiful artwork. All right, so again, to me, this is an acceptable grade to have for this book. It's not, again, I'm just really disappointed with the wear. There's just a lot of, so this is what my assessment of what happened to this book. Somebody read the book, a lot of handling, a lot of oil on their fingers and whatnot. And they didn't, it probably was left raw somewhere, just out. So it was obviously exposed to the air, the elements, and it just had an effect on the book. Okay, so that's what you're seeing here on the page. There's oil, moisture, oxidation going on. It's just discolored the book. And I'm not going to sit here and erase that. There's just a waste of time. So I'm going to just put this at a solid 4 or 5. Yeah, I'm going to put this as a 4 or 5. So just actually presents really well. So I'll put it at a 5. That's a 5. There's not creasing or anything. It's just a lot of these minor issues. There's creasing on the back, so I'm going to give it a 5. And we're not going to spend more time than we have to on that. Again, it's a great book. It's a book I owned and read. And hopefully we can pick up a better copy. But for the moment, this is acceptable. The book's not falling apart. But yeah, I would put it at a solid 5. Just because of all the small accumulation of all the small issues. And I would say they're small issues, not minor. They're small issues. The fact that there's a little bit of pull at the staples, and just the general dinge and creasing on the book. So again, with the press, I don't think it may present a little better, but it's not going to necessarily fix what's going on here along the spine. So, and again, there's a very negligible chipping there, but it's chipping nonetheless. So yeah, I'm happy to say it's a 5. And we're just going to go on to the next book. All right, so we're going to get to Amy's books here. Amy S. These are her adventure comics. I just wonder what Amy's doing these days. I hope she's well. This one is, I just, a piece of paper just flaked off. And I have it right here. I hate when that happens, but with these, here we go. All right, we're going to just start with some wood glue on this one. And we're going to tape or just attach parts of the cover that are falling off. Okay. Get a dollop of, we don't put too much wood glue on there, just kind of wet it. All right, I'm going to show you. This just flaked off. Okay, I'm not sure where it came from. It looks like it came from the tree, like right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to just attach it back. Looks like it goes right there, and we're going to just attach it back and secure it. Just glue it. Oh, I think it's upside down. And I can't tell. Well, that doesn't look to be it. I think it was that way. It's lower. I think it's... No, I think it is up there. I'm trying to now do it like a puzzle. Let's see here. That looks right. That looks like it's right. Kind of fits there like a puzzle piece a little bit. Okay, that's just gonna... That's gonna just stay on there now. Okay. And I've restored the book. Again, this is never going to go to CGC, so this is just for my own benefit. And let's take a look at the grades. So this is obviously a low grade book with it flaking off like that and stuff. Let's kind of flip it over, see what's going on in the back. Oof, it's chipping and it's not looking good. I think there's a little bit of an opportunity for some eraser action here. So let's first off get our I think it's still got some. Here we go. We're just gonna wipe it down, get the cover looking less dingy. Oof. It's looking real dingy. All right, I'm going to flip it just to get a cleaner surface on there. Okay. I think I do see some opportunity to at least get the back cover looking less aged. So we're going to try eraser time here along the edge and see if we can't get it wider. And I want to be very, very do this kind of rather just very soft touch because the paper is just so brittle. And I do see it getting a little better, but the stains aren't coming out. So I'm not going to try to get that out, but I am seeing a little bit of that surface dirt come off. I think you see it as well. Let me know if you see it generally getting wider. I just could never tell with my camera, but I know with the book in front of me, it looks like it's having some efficacy. All right, that spine is in really bad shape. I think we have an opportunity to get this edge here a little lighter, a little cleaner. Boom. That doesn't look so bad. Okay. Not bad. Something's sloughing off there. Yeah, it looks a lot better, I gotta say. I think this is a very brittle part of the book, so I want to be very careful here. Okay, I think that's good. Oh, yeah, this book's in bad shape. Looks like the cover is hanging on by a thread. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I mean, it's still attached. That's good. But the paper is very brittle. And what are we looking at here? We're looking at Tales of the Legion of Superheroes. Where are the creators on here? Guess we don't know. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. There's a rolled up page there. Definitely want to flatten that. Just gonna get some glue time here. Just gonna flatten it. There we go. Boom. That looks better. Oh, I was counting pages. Why did I stop counting pages? Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pages. Okay. And that back page is like, I feel like this book is like detached. And it's just, well, it's not detached, but it's like, it could be detached. And it's just hanging on by like the very like tendrils of paper on that staple. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to clean the surface here and grade it. So obviously this is, looking at the book, you got the writing, but again, you don't have any like major creases. But just because a book doesn't have major creases doesn't mean it's not low grade. This book is definitely low grade. Visually, it looks decent, but again, with that detached cover, that's a major. It's not detached, but it's on the verge of detaching, right? So it's a major issue. So the spine, the whole entire spine is a major issue. It's just got creasing, it's got flaking, it's, there's chipping on the back. There's actually a spine split there, so it's just eroded. So that instantly makes it like a good copy, regardless of whether it has creases or not. There's not a lot of creasing, which is, I guess, one of the things working for this book. But overall, wow, there's a lot of dust on this cover as well. But yeah, it's definitely a low grade book. Right now, I'm going to have it right at, a good, so like a 2.5. Right, we're going to make it a 2.5, maybe a 2.0. I feel like this is in worse shape than the book we had yesterday, and I gave that book a 2.0. So I'm going to put this in the 1.5, which would make it a fair book. And the reason I'm going to put it in the fair category is, again, while the front looks decent, the back is just a mess. And I honestly don't know if the cover seems attached. I'm not going to test it to see if it is. I'm just going to kind of make the assumption that it's like ready to give, essentially. The cover is ready to go. So that would just gonna get Superboy looking nice and spiffy here. Give a nice little rub down. Again, kudos to Amy. She didn't write on Superboy. But yeah, that's I'm gonna put this at a 1.5, just because of the spine wear and all that. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one anymore. I feel like we've done. I think we got the back looking a little wider, but again, given all the issues on the back cover, it's not really doing much. And want to be very careful as I put it back in there. Got a little glue on that chipped part of the spine. It looks really out of place, but at least that part of the book is still there as part of the book. Okay, glued that on. Don't mind that. Yeah, 1.5. Uh, I mean, I could go as low as 1.0 on this book. It really is just in bad shape. But I know, technically speaking, presents well. You've just got a major split there that's kind of deteriorated the back. The back is the paper quality is just shot. It's brittle pages. Um, there's chipping just here and there along the spine. So yeah, I think 1.5 is fair. 1.5 is a fair grade for this book. I do appreciate the fact that I can put it up and read it, but we're not going to be doing too much of that. Just going to let this great Silver Age book just exist in our collection. All right, this one, I'm hoping this one is in better shape. And then just based off first glance, it does appear so. I'm going to turn my space heater on. I'm getting kind of chilly. The spine looks like it's in better shape. And the overall impression of the book, it's not so bad. There's not like major creasing or anything like that. The bottom here, you can tell there's like a crunch. So there's a lot of like small wrinkles that have kind of flattened out again. I think there is some potential to just kind of see if like some soft erasing can't get some of that edge dinge off. So we'll try that. Amy went crazy on this book. She apparently was practicing writing her name in cursive, which is what a lot of us do. Just not on comic books. But yeah, it looked like she tried different styles. Like she was going for like, okay, what would be a good signature style to go with? And I think maybe she landed on this, Amy. I'm just wondering what was going on in her household to make her prompt the need to write her name on her books. Was there some kind of, was there another collector in the house that was, I don't know, taking her books or misplacing her books, or collections were getting confused? It's a mystery. It will remain a mystery. We'll never know. It's one of those comic books greatest mysteries. What prompted Amy to need to write her name on the book? All right, so this just, just looking at the book, I'd put it in the VG category. So it doesn't look to be like a spine split or anything like that. No tears. Again, some of the real heavy damage creasing is just right here in the corner. So it presents well. Is kind of what I'm trying to say. Presents visually, it's appealing, except for the Amy's everywhere. So it's got that going for it. Back cover also doesn't look terrible. So far so good. I think we're gonna, the paper quality is brittle still, so we want to be very careful. But this pad is getting, I think we've think that pad's seen its day. Let's get a new pad here now. So, got a new pad, and we're just gonna lightly clean, get that surface dirt off. Yeah, this book's in a lot better shape than the last one, just because there's no split spines or wrinkles. It's actually pretty decent condition outside of the paper quality is actually better than we first thought, which is surprising because I think the same issues that other book had, you would imagine this would have as well, but this just kind of made it through the its life without oxidating like its sister comic. Very gentle here. I think we're going to get a lot of dirt off this part here. Yeah, this is just a beautiful, beautiful book. I don't know. I think that the plethora of Amy's actually works with the cover here. You got future legionnaires visiting what I would imagine is a present or future, and yeah, Amy obviously came through the space-time continuum to bless us with her presence on this book. All right, so we're gonna get, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna do some eraser time because I'm confident this paper is a little better quality, so it's not like gonna be as brittle as our previous book. And I think I do see some opportunity to maybe get this looking just a tad cleaner. I'm gonna go very light, so we're not just get some of that surface dinge off there. Yeah, all right. Get some of these word bubbles popping. That is already looking better. That is already looking much better. Okay, let's do that again. Mm-hmm. All right, let's try to get this top part here. Just get that Adventure Comics kind of popping. Yeah. All right, we're going to just do along the spine one more time. I think we're good. Just going to go over the back cover, see if do some eraser time here, and then we'll be done. All right, so just going to be very soft with this. All right. Go down this way. Yeah, I'm just going to show you what's. I know through the camera you're not seeing maybe anything tangible, but I can assure you there's cleaning going on here, and I'll just show you what I mean in a minute. First off, you can kind of see through my eraser. You see the brown there? That's what it's picking up. Okay, so I'm just going to rub that off real quick and show you the clean surface again. Okay, so it's a little bit cleaner now. Where you'll see sort of an impact is, as you can see, I was doing downstrokes here, and you can kind of see where the stroke where it's cleaned off, and then this here where it's not. You see, there's just there's a bit of a streak there. Whereas not like if I do it now and take that edge off, you'll see how where it's been cleaned. But yeah, I mean, I can just see it coming off. It's really quite remarkable that the eraser would have that big of an impact, because it does look wider. It's looking wider. I do want to be careful there. Yeah, like, I'm gonna let it focus here. You can see it's just gotten cleaner. So I'm very pleased with just the amount of time we spent on how we've gotten the book to look just a little better. All right. So again, I have this at a 3.0. We're going to kind of go into the inside of the book and see if that holds up. And really what's going to be a telltale thing is how attached the cover is. So let's take a look here. Yeah, the cover's still nice and attached. Okay. So I think 3.0 is still in play. And we're just going to count pages here, make sure nothing's missing. Looks to be a complete book. Is that Pete? Yeah, so it's I'm just gonna drop it to with the writing and the fact that the cover's barely hanging on. I think 2.5 2.5 2.5 is a little generous, but we're going to stay with the 2.5 because again, there's nothing that inherently wrong with the book. It's just it's aging and falling apart. That's the only thing. And for the most part, it's still a complete book. And there's nothing major in terms of its visual appearance, nothing that's causing me to think it's anything less than a good. So we'll keep it at 2.5. It's a solid, good book. And yeah, I think we're able to kind of improve the appearance a little bit. Not all that much. But yeah, I think we have a solid. We can confidently say it's a good book, good grade. So don't need to spend more time over analyzing or trying to get it to look better. It's just a nice low grade book. 2.5, 1.5. Just gotta make a note of that. I'm gonna have the video record here, so I don't really have to do much. Yeah, it is what it is. But those older books are just nice to kind of peruse, and these are books that were way before my time, so it's a nice little historical window into what older people were reading. Yeah, I mean, there's a good possibility Amy's not with us anymore. Never thought about that, but hopefully she is. Hopefully she's thriving and jiving somewhere. Maybe still reading comic books, but yeah, in all likelihood, given the age of these books and when she was around, there's that possibility. All right, so this one I'm going to be very careful with because there's tape, and I don't want that tape getting on my book. So here we go. That was quick and nice and painless. All right, so as I mentioned, this is oh no, it has staples. This is not a square bound. So this is a book that's gonna still attached. Staples are attached. Yeah, they're attached, but it's barely hanging on. This is a wood glue situation here. So let me get the wood glue out again. And what we're going to do is we're just going to glue that piece that curled up. We're going to attach it to the book. I'd recommend going out and getting some wood glue, because it's useful for stuff like this, especially if it bugs you as much as it does me. These like curled pieces. What we're going to do there is just we're going to flatten that and not have it be an issue ever again. This piece too. Get that glue under there. Get nice and wet. And then just press it. Boom. Press it. And you know what doing that is going to do is, first of all, it's going to keep that down. It's going to not flake off over time. But it's also going to keep the pressure off the staples from detaching as well. So, and I don't see that as a big, obviously CGC, I don't know how they address using minimal amounts of glue to do stuff like that, but they won't be able to tell. I don't think their process is one where like I've actually done it. I've gotten books back where I glued pieces back on there, got them graded, no one noticed. So, it's not like they're going to be able to detect stuff like that. But technically, this is restoration. But again, like CGC is not going to catch it because I've done it before. So if you've ever purchased one of my slabs, just know this is the kind of touch-up that you can expect people to do and will be on your books, and CGC will have no idea. Okay. There we go. That piece wants to fall off, but I think I got enough glue up. Well, it did fall off. I don't know if that's glue or paper. It's supposed to be glue. Okay. All right, so we're going to let that dry just for a minute. And while we're letting it dry, we'll go through this really sort of remarkable book here. First of all, there's a great SeaWorld ad here. Come see us at SeaWorld. DC characters. I'm Shamu. Wow, this is Shamu was a very famous orca back in my day. That's awesome to see. So we got an 80 pager here. Again, the staples are still on, so I'm just going to count. Pages here. Actually, I'm not going to count pages. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to flip through the book and see if anything like is torn or missing. And then if nothing is like that, we'll just assume all the pages are here. Okay. Because I'm not going to count to 50. Just don't even want to try. Everything's looking good on the interior. So again, the cover's attached. Yeah, this is like late 70s, or sorry, maybe mid 70s goodness. What year is this? I'm curious now. 1977, so kind of late 70s, I guess. That Win Mortimer and Vince Coletta. Beautiful stuff. So you just got Lois Lane story here, Jimmy Olsen story. Got a crypto story here. Arf, arf. You got Nightwing and Flamebird. This is, the Silver Age Nightwing. I should say Bronze Age Nightwing, but what I mean is like from this, is it maybe from the Golden Age? I don't think it's from the Silver Age, right? Nightwing. Its first appearance is probably in the Silver Age. Not sure. Let me know in the comments if it is or isn't. Then we got Supergirl to wrap it up. Nice. Who's that Supergirl artist here? J. Delbo. J. Delbo is nice artwork there. All right. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Everything looks intact. Again, the cover looks like it's in pretty sturdy shape, and I'm just glad I was able to kind of glue that on there. It's just gonna fortify that cover. All right, so what we're gonna do here now is we're gonna focus on cleaning. A little bit more there. Just I think it's some cleaning on there. All right, so I'm not gonna do much on that spine there. But what I do want to do is I kind of want to flatten that edge. So this is a lot of little edge creases, or edge, I should say, edge curling. You know, the edges that kind of curl up. That's what it's got. Overall, it really presents really nicely. There's a lot of minor creasing. Doesn't break color really anywhere except along these edges here. So this is a book that would really, 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 really benefit from a good press. Like, if Roger were to get this book in his hands, I think he can make this look really fabulous. Just from the press benefit. But again, what makes this Bronze Age book just, for me, a great book is this incredible cover by Neil Adams here with the super family in focus here. So that's really kind of where I want to get this cover looking just nice and clean, and getting all the dirt and dinge off. There we go. Just do a nice final rub down there. I think we're good. I think there's an opportunity for some eraser action here in the back. Nothing terribly wrong. Just I'm getting a little dingy, so let's just kind of get something going here. I'm already seeing some benefits here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking good. There we go. Like the eraser's causing this like dirt streaking. You can actually see where it should probably be more deliberate so we don't have that streaking going on. But you can kind of see where like the eraser streaks across and it creates these like clean streaks. So I want to make it more uniform, not have it so streaky. Let's go this way. There we go. Just gonna get rid of some of that streakiness. But yeah, I mean, it's having an effect. It's definitely making it cleaner. Because you can see the streak, like where it's cleaning and streaking the book. All right, so we're gonna just go along this edge here and get that. That looks a lot better too. All right, once we get this top edge, I think we can get to grading the book. And I have my thoughts on where this grade is going to be. I think for the most part, I've been doing it rather conservatively. I haven't been generous at all with my books. But I think I've been fair. I shouldn't say generous. I've been fair. Like I'm not upgrading, if you know what I mean. And wow, this looks so much better than before. I'm just gonna go across some of this ink here. Not that I'm picking up ink, but just doing it very lightly. So at least the cleaning blends. There we go. Wow, that looks insanely better. Look at this. Okay. And yeah, it looks insanely better. Just clean. All right, we didn't. I'm just gonna do the edge, some of the edge here, very very lightly, because the edge looks really dingy. And I do see quite a dramatic improvement. Okay. I think that's as good as I want it. And I'm just worried about that gloss. I don't want to do it too much. All right, so yeah, I got a little bit of improvement on the back, just a little bit. Definitely looks cleaner for sure. And I just want to get this, like crypto, I think could be a little cleaner here. Just get a little crypto action here going. Wait, let me rub this off first. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna give Supergirl and Crypto a little eraser action here. Very light. Get them popping. I think another area Jimmy's word bubble and pants could benefit from just a light. Okay. There we go. Nothing too fancy. Give Superman just a nice little wipe down there. Nothing fancy. And then just give the whole Superman family nice little roll over there. Okay. And I think that's where we want to leave it. So we got some dinge off there, you can see. That's as good as it's going to get. So I'm going to put this grade with all the little minor defects here. I'm going to put this at a solid VG plus. Again, this what's giving it the that spine, the little the damage there at the staples. I feel like it's kind of hanging on, still attached, but that's the major flaw. And then you have just accumulation of all this edge wear. Again, this is a book that would really benefit from a press, I think, and a more thorough cleaning on the back there. But overall, decent book. You know, I want to put this higher than a 3.5, but I also would put it lower than a 3.5 either. So it's definitely better than it. It's not a 3 by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm going to keep it at a solid 3.5 and get the book back in its proper place. Yeah, again, I'm just having a lot of fun with stuff like this. It's good to just know what you have in the collection. Like, you know, I actually didn't know what the grade of this book was going to be. When I got it, I was just like, oh, I guess it looks mid-grade. And you know, we've determined it's 3.5 could qualify as, I guess, mid-grade, depending on like the scale you're using. But for the most part, a 3.5 is, I'd say 4 is going to be a mid-grade. 3.5 is still on the low grade scale for me personally. But it's there. Again, with the press, I think, whoa, what did I just do? I kind of ripped the bag there. I don't want to do that. Here, why don't I put the bag in first? Like that, and then we'll put the comic in. But where was I going with that idea? Let me just get this book in here first. Again, this is a book I would never get graded because there's not too much value in it. And if I were to have this in a slab, for example, I don't think I'd be satisfied with having a 3.5 of this slabbed. If I were to have this slabbed, which I mean, there's no desire to do that or have it slabbed. But if I were to want it slabbed in my collection, it'd have to be at least a 7.5 or higher. And that's just not what we have here. Again, with the press, I think it could be a 4.0, but nothing higher than a 4.0. And again, I have it at 3.5. I think it's pretty spot on in terms of the grade. But again, it's a great cover. It looks beautiful. I've cleaned it up as best I can, so it actually looks a lot better. Presents a lot better now. That edge just kind of bugged me, but nothing we can do about it. Again, long-term project for pressing, nothing else. So yeah, we're able to create a couple more books. Just kind of do a revisit here. We had a essentially a 5.0. We had a 2.5, a 1.5, and a 3.5. So let me just put them in the order here: 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and a 5. Let's go over the grades again. So we had this at a 1.5, a 2.5, 3.5, and a 5. Yeah, it's a solid 5. I'd give it a 5. All right, well, that is going to be my last video for the night. Tomorrow's Sunday, so I'll probably be back with some more books, and we'll do this again. This is fun. So, I mean, I'm not going to do this every night, but when I do have time on the weekends or right before bed, if I'm feeling extra, I guess, feeling the need to do stuff like this before bed, I will hop on and do so. But yeah, thanks for Agu. Thanks for dropping in. Have a good evening, my man. We gotta meet up and get a trade going. I know there's books you probably want to dump or get rid of, right? That I could want. Anything Jim Lee you think that I'd want that you don't want? And again, I got some Batman stuff that maybe you'd want. So, if you're ever in this neck of the woods, or if I'm ever near where you are, I have your number. I'll text you. We'll figure something out. But let's get a deal. Let's get a trade in the books. It's an easy trade, I think. Not a big lift there. And other than that, I'm just gonna say good night. And yeah, it's been fun. I'm just going to preach due diligence. Do your due diligence. That means spending time with the books, kind of doing what I'm doing right now, just, trying to get the books, get the dust off the books. You don't want to handle the books. Notice I didn't use gloves. I kind of use gloves, but I feel like I wash my hands before I do this, so it's not like I have really a lot of oil on my hands. But what I want to stress is when you handle your books, make sure you have clean hands. Make sure you're not touching it too excessively, because over time, that engagement you have with the book there, that residue that leaves on the book, over time, that is going to age the book faster. A great case in point is like Amy, loved touching the books. This book was red. I know it was red because just the way the spine has been worn, just in the way the edges here are all yellow. This book was read multiple times, touched with probably grimy teenage fingers. And as you can see, when books are in that kind of, when they're read and they're touched and they're loved, they age a lot faster. And that browning, that oxidation leads to the pages drying out, getting brittle, and eventually just disintegrating, right? So always wash your hands. Feel free to read your books. I'm not telling you to seal them, and I am telling you to do that, like seal them and keep them protected as much as possible, but I'm not trying to dissuade you from reading them. You can read them, but just wash your hands. Be very cognizant of how much you get your cooties and germs on the books, because again, over time, don't think that won't have an impact on the book. So for me, doing this, I've really stayed away from touching and opening and looking at my books, if at all possible. I just want to avoid that altogether. But now that I'm kind of doing it, it's not like I'm going to have multiple engagements with this book. It's like once I've determined the grade, and I'm confident in what it is, we're going to seal it up. I'm going to leave it, just going to admire it through this bagging board. That's all we're going to do. So, that's one great thing about, these like older books. It's like, hey, we don't have to revisit this, right? We know the grade. We have a good idea where the damage and everything is. So that's kind of why we do this exercise. I have a video record of it. So if I'm ever curious, can go back and watch. Once these really get accumulated, I do, and that's why I've been putting the book on there. Just kind of as a reference, but I probably want to not do like a whole slew of books. And if I do, maybe put in the notes the books that were. Now I would just do this on my Excel spreadsheet, but for some reason I cannot open. I'm going to try it right now. Opening Microsoft. No, it's still giving me this Microsoft prompt, which is annoying. if Microsoft is telling me I have to get a new version of the software, that's just gonna piss me off. I think that's what it's telling me to do, though. Updating Microsoft 365 in Office. Please wait a moment, and then an error message pops up. So I can't even open my spreadsheet file right now because of some update glitch. Maybe I should update the system. I think this automatically updates. I'm going to check for updates. So this PC doesn't currently meet the minimum system requirements to run Windows 11. Why? Because I'm on Windows 10, huh? I think I'm on Windows 10. So is it telling me to upgrade to Windows 11? I think that's what it's telling me to do. Check Windows 11 eligibility. If you're currently running Windows 10, PC Health Check provides comprehensive eligibility for your device to ensure it meets Windows 11 minimum system requirements. So my system, God, I hate. It's telling me to upgrade my computer essentially, and then upgrade to Windows 11. Oh, that's just great. That's just great. What to do. From a processing standpoint, I do not have. I thought I had a gigahertz of processing speed. I guess I don't. Yeah, it's telling me to get Windows 11, essentially. And I don't see why. If my system is insufficient to run Windows 11, I don't see what getting Windows 11 is going to do for me. It's basically saying if I run Windows 10 on Windows 11 specs, that's the issue. But if it's a hardware thing, then what good would upgrading to Windows 11 do? Just forcing you to buy more of their crap. I mean, we are all slaves to Microsoft, aren't we? We're all on Teams. We're all doing virtual meetings. We're all using Azure for cloud services. If you're a company, especially if you're a company, right? Especially if you're a company, you're just kind of reliant on whatever solution they just shove down your throat. That really sucks. I can't access my spreadsheet file anymore unless I upgrade everything. That blows. I'm just hoping this update here for Windows 10 can at least allow me to check, access my files. So I'm checking for a Windows update here, and then we'll call it a night. But this is really frustrating. Also, there are some security update. Windows 10, it's installing on my behalf. Didn't even want it to install, but it's doing it. Application was enabled to start correctly. Oh, that says something else. Okay. Pending installing. I don't know what's going on here. Are they installing or not? All right. Well, while we figure this out, I'm just going to let you guys go. Thanks for hanging out. We'll do this again soon. Peace out.